Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tayler Yarish Show. We are here. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? How's your Sunday? We're back on another glorious day. How are you feeling? What's the temperament, the temperature in the room? Is everyone worried about nuclear holocaust? What's the deal, huh? What's the deal with nuclear winter? I don't know, folks. Nobody seems to be talking about the fact that we could be nuked any day right now, okay? I don't know. It's just not a thing that's in the news enough, is that we might all be nuked. And maybe we're just trying to distract ourselves, you know? There's a dude over there in Russia with his finger on the button. He could kill all of us, and we're just sitting here, you know, watching the fucking Ravens game, you know? And it's quite disturbing. And I don't know how. The only thing I can do is nothing, so I just go about my life like it's not happening. But, you know, on some level, it is in the back of my mind of like, you know, do I book that flight in May? Does it even matter? Will we be here? Does it matter? I was talking to a buddy of mine last night. I was at a party. And he was just telling me he just got canned, just got fired from his job. And he was like, God, now I got to find another one, you know, but I got a little money tucked away, you know, but I got to find a job. And I said, why would you find a job? We're all going to die. We're all going to be nuked soon. And you don't want to be the guy who just gets into a new job when everyone gets nuked. You know, when there's like radiation everywhere, because this is what's going to happen, right? You get the new job, you're the new guy at work, you're going to get the shit shifts at work. You know, you're going to get the job, the hours that nobody wants, right? Real early in the morning. And so now you're going through, you got to wake up for work, and there's like radiation outside because it's nuclear winter, and there's dogs that have mutated into zombies, and there's people with fucking 3 arms and shit. And you got to just move through all those people to go to your job at fucking Fidelity or whatever it is. And, you know, you got to sit at this desk, and your coworkers are probably going to flake, you know, because they got the PTO to take off when it's a nuclear winter. But you don't. You don't have the PTO days yet, so you still got to go into work, right? And make a little coin, even though it doesn't matter. But you want to be a good employee because you're trying to move up the ranks, trying to get those 90 days to get the benefits. You know what I mean? Got to get the dental, folks. And so now you're going and you're sitting at a desk. It's nuclear winter outside, and the zombies are at the door. And you're just, you know, you wish maybe you didn't take that job and you sat home for a little bit and maybe collected some unemployment. You know what I mean? And that's how I feel. That's what I would do. And is it wrong? Yeah, you could have taken the job, but you're sitting at home collecting unemployment. Is it wrong? Maybe. But it doesn't even compare to the fucking gajillion dollars that we're sending over there to Ukraine, even though they don't want to fucking budge an inch and give this guy anything. Which, hey, you gotta give him something, okay? I remember when Ukraine first got invaded and everyone was fucking rah-rah Ukraine with their blue and yellow flags in the East Village, and you're hanging outside in your coffee shop right next to your BLM and your trans flag, right? Because you care about people. But now, I don't know, dude. All right? It was one thing when it was just threatening Ukraine, right? He was just going into Ukraine and fucking doing whatever he was doing over there, not great stuff. And we were like, we feel for you, right? We're all with you. And we saw that dude on the TV in his little fucking flak jacket vest, and we were all amped, right? We're pumped. This guy's fucking he's not standing down for shit. He's going to stand in the Capitol, and, you know, I'll fucking be on the phone with the president of the United States with a t-shirt. Who gives a shit, right? Yeah, fucking zoom me into the Emmys or whatever to spread my message on Ukraine. That was great. And we were all very happy about that. But now it's fucking different, bro, okay? And if you think I care more about Ukraine than I do us, you out of your mind. And right now, that fucking Russian psycho over there, you know, fucking Ivan Drago, is threatening to just nuke everybody, and nobody's talking about it. And it freaks me the fuck out because the dude's dying, right? He's got like ball cancer or some shit, and he's dying. So who knows? He's probably one of these guys that's just like, hey, you know what? What if we just took everybody out? I'm on my way out. Let's just fucking take everybody with me. And that could fucking happen, okay? That could happen. I was talking to a guy yesterday. I was in the park, little, fucking friend hang for somebody's birthday, and I'm in the park, and I was talking to this guy that I just met, and apparently this dude knows everybody in every agency. Like, he's got a guy on the inside. He knows a guy in the FBI, knows a guy in the CIA. He lives near DC, and he knows a guy who works on nuclear power plants, and everybody seems to be in agreement that this shit is getting out of hand. Like, it's getting to the point where it's like, hey, you should be preparing for like a nuclear attack. And he was like calmly walking me through, as if it's like right around the corner. Like, let's say we were sitting in this park, right? So we're sitting in this park. Let's say you see like that big flash of light in the distance. You got about 30 seconds. You got about 30 seconds to get the fuck inside. And he starts looking around at buildings. He's like, you don't want to go in this one because that's like a newer building and they use like shit materials and it's not going to withstand. You want to go in like those old buildings, that have like brick and shit that are really have a good foundation because you'll be safer there. And then you want to strip down. You want to get in the shower, and wash off the radiation and shit. And he's like, yeah, as long as you have like 2 to 3 months of canned goods and water, you should be fine. Like, who the fuck has that? Who the fuck in New York City who's got like stashes of cans for a couple months just in case there's a nuclear winter? Is anybody fucking preparing for this thing? And also, like, how do you know? Like, that's all you need? Is that how long it takes for radiation to not be a thing? Isn't Chernobyl or whatever still not? You still can't go there, or else you fucking turn into a Scooby-Doo villain or whatever. How do you know? Like, because, hey, wait out the radiation for 2 to 3 months. Sounds a lot like 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Am I right? Anybody. I mean, it's fucking scary, dude. And it's just it's getting annoying now because everyone's still trying to be rah-rah Ukraine, even though they're not budging an inch. Like, dude, you're going to have to give this guy something. You got to give him something. He's got, he just wants a little bit of his land. He just doesn't want to go back to Russia with his fucking tail between his legs. He wants to be able to hold his head up high and high-five his buddies, all right? You got to give him something. There's no way he's going to, like he was making, the fucking Ukraine dude, he's making demands like he's got to go back, we're not giving up any land, and he's got to, like, apologize. And then he's also fucking barking orders at the U.S. Like, hey, if, Russia does this, this, and this, you got to intervene. Like, we're going to start sending nukes over there. Hey, no, dude. We just met you, my guy. Nobody in America knew who the fuck you were. We didn't watch your shitty Netflix show. We don't know who you are, okay? And we never cared about Ukraine. We never cared about Ukraine. And, you got invaded. Very sorry to hear that. It sucked. Very sorry to hear that. We'll raise a flag because that's what we do here in America. We're not going to give you shit, but we'll raise a flag. And then you kept bitching. You fucking came into our TV shows. You started showing up in commercials. So we're like, all right, we'll throw some fucking dollar bills. All right, we're going to send billions and billions of dollars to you guys, even though we won't do that for our own place. And Baltimore and Chicago still like shit. Still looks like shit. And there's fucking the crime and all that shit. We're not going to fix that. But we will send it to Ukraine just because. Whatever. And, this is not going to be a fucking quick thing. And this dude in Russia, the guy's a psycho, and he's going to take everybody else out now because he's getting a little bit tired. He's getting tired. There's fucking nukes on his border or whatnot. By the way, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But this is my understanding of it. And that's why you tune into this podcast, is to get my perspective. So, I don't know. I just feel like Ukraine, it's time to fucking, I think it's time to call it, You put up a good fight, you got to give the guy something, all right? You got to give him something. That's all I feel. Because if it's between that and him fucking nuking everybody, go fuck yourself. That's what I say to Ukraine. How about that? And I might be wrong. I'm not wrong. Fuck you. No, don't nuke us, Putin. Don't nuke us over fucking these guys. I don't like Ukraine that much. I really don't. Yeah. Not enough to get fucking nuked and to, go back inside and I got to quarantine away from the fucking radiation and just sit on my ass and watch Survivor again. I ain't doing it. So that's that. Anywho, what else is going on? Sorry to be such a fucking bummer up top, but like that's really been on my mind a lot. And then talking to that guy yesterday freaked me the fuck out because he was like, oh, dude, I'm so prepared. I'm like, what? You ever just like feel behind the eight ball, but about nuclear winter? Not a good feeling, you know? Meanwhile, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's talking about it. That's not the issue that's on people's minds. We got people fucking throwing tomato soup at Van Gogh paintings or whatever because it's made with oil. Like, hey, dude, chill the fuck out, you know? The painting's already made. Like, oh, God. People don't realize, like, I don't know if you saw that. So these protesters went into, like, some museum, and then there's a Van Gogh painting that's made with oil, because, that's what they had back then, and they threw soup on it, and then they tried to glue themselves to the wall. Like, I'm sorry, shoot them on sight. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. Which is, like, just shoot them. Because you don't understand how people respond to things. That is not going to make anybody. Yes, you are raising awareness about oil and the use and the blah, 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 and the fossil fuels, but it's only going to make people go the other way. When you fucking irritate people like that and you destroy shit, it makes people want to go the other way, even if they know it's the wrong thing. Like, listen, I know that oil, there's problems, yeah, clean energy, but when you start, like, if you're going to destroy works of art to protest the use of oil, guess what? I'm going to go dump it down my sink. That's what I want to do when I see shit like that. You know? Like, that's not how you fucking communicate with people. And it was, of course, it was just some fucking two young chicks or whatever. And what's with the gluing yourself to the wall? What, you don't care about horses? You know how they make glue? Don't they make it from fucking horse hooves or some shit like that? It's something like that. So, you know, we can all pretend to care about whatever, but just don't be destroying shit. You want to make a sign, make a sign. Are you going to burn down a fucking Joanne Fabrics or a Michaels because there's oils, paintings in there, you know? Like, how far are we going to fucking take this? Just shoot him. All right, that's obviously satire. Don't shoot him. You can shoot him. But anyway, I don't know, man. Everybody's just losing their fucking minds over the wrong shit. There's shit to lose your mind over, but it's not Van Gogh paintings, huh? Like, of all the, you know? God, there's something that's just so shitty about that. I don't even like art like that. I think most art, you know, like when it comes to paintings and especially modern art, is fucking stupid, you know? Why is the Van Gogh sunflower painting, why is that good? Why is it better than other shit? I don't know. Is it because it's old? Probably. Is it because there's some lore around the dude because he fucking cut his ear off for some chick? Psycho. Probably. But I don't know. I've seen, you know, artists on TikTok fucking draw better shit than that. Maybe it's just a personal opinion. I don't get why it's a better thing. But I still don't like the idea of you destroying it. You know? If you're going to fucking throw soup on something, throw it on that banana that they duct taped to the wall and then it sold for like $15 million or something like that. Somebody fact check that. Call in. Remember that thing? There was like a thing at the MoMA or the Guggenheim or one of those pretentious museums. It was literally just a banana duct taped to the wall, and people would walk by and they'd be like, oh my God, oh wow, oh my God. It really just speaks to the injustice and the oppression felt by the Native Americans, you know? Like, people just make these vast conclusions like they mean anything. Everyone's just got to fucking stick up their ass, you know? And it's annoying. It's like, if you're going to destroy something like that. You know what I mean? Don't destroy something that people obviously care about. I mean, they do care, but they just made there was a whole fucking exhibit in down by the seaport, South Street Seaport in New York. Big old warehouse dedicated to Van Gogh. I went. It was all right. I went with people, and it was fine. But people care about it. And you're just going to piss all those people off. It's not going to make them want to use less oil. It's going to make them want to use more oil. We're all going to get fucking diesel trucks after this, you dumb cunts. All right. Anyway. Oh, boy. I'm on one today, huh? I'm on a fucking bender. All right. I don't know if you follow me on the Instagram, but I've been fucking posting my bikes. Dude, I've been biking. The kid's been cooking, everybody. I've been averaging like 15, 20 miles a day. Just fucking going around the city on my single speed bike. I'm getting after it, and I'm tired often now. I mean, my legs are sore a lot, but I've been losing weight, and I've never been like a lose weight guy. I mean, I've been the same weight, for the last 15 years of my life. I've been somewhere between 155 pounds and 163 pounds. That's like the range that I have always been in. But I weighed myself the other day. I was 149 pounds. And yeah, it's just because I'm fucking biking everywhere. I mean, just long, every day. And I do feel better, man. I got to be honest. I think having my scooter get stolen was the best thing that could have happened to me, because I really wasn't moving that much. I mean, I would get on my scooter, I'd scoot to the place, and then I'd get off, and then I'd sit down, and then there's something about the bike. I feel like I'm earning it. I feel like I'm working for it, when I'm fucking pumping over the bridge and I'm not going as fast, and I just really I feel like a sweat start to go, and then the cool air, and you when you get in your blood, you just feel better, man. You just feel better. And it's been a lot of fun, riding around the city and whatnot on the bike, and, dropping a couple LBs, seeing the abs a little bit in the mirror ain't too shabby too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it's good, because I feel like at the time that I got my scooter stolen, I'm starting to get a little bit of a chub, a little bit of a fucking tire around the waist, if you will. Speaking of fatties, did you see that article about the lady? She, like, I don't know, everybody got mad at her, called her like fat phobic, because she said that she was on an American Airlines flight, and she said that she was like stuck in between. No, what was the word? Wedged. She was wedged in between two obese people for 3 hours, and so she wanted reparations. That was like what the tweet was, and people flipped the fuck out, And it's a great tweet, because you're pissing off a lot of people, because you say obese, and now you're getting the fat phobic people in there, as if like there's nothing wrong at all with being, that overweight. And, you're in the middle seat. I get it. Like, so you're going to get the people calling you fat phobic, and then you throw in the word reparations, which, that's one of those words that's just become synonymous only with, like, reparations for slavery. And to the idea to bring up that word and to use it, like, you want reparations because you were wedged between two fatties on a 3-hour flight is kind of hysterical to me. And I don't think she was trying to be intentionally funny. Like, it was one of those things where it's so ridiculous because she's serious. The idea you're tweeting at an airline. Like, what? All right, let's break that down. What is the dollar amount? Like, how do you calculate the reparations for, like, they've tried to do this with, when, like, seriously considering reparations for slavery. Like, how would you break it down by numbers? Like, what you could have made if you were free. I'm not even going to try and tackle how you would fucking do that. But to be like, it's a 3-hour flight, here's what you paid. I like how it wasn't even, I want my money back. Like refund my flight, even though the purpose of the flight was to get you to your destination, which they did. The idea that reparations because you were stuck between two fat people. I mean, that is, she said, like, I don't want to sit for 3 hours with your arm rolls touching me or something like that. Like, the people that are coming after this lady being like, oh, that's so fucking fat phobic. You're definitely still one of those people where if you're in the middle seat and you like board first on the plane or whatever, and you're sitting there, right? And you start to see people come down the fucking row, you're looking, when those fatties get on, you're saying, please not me. You're 100%. Anybody who says they're not, you're fucking lying. If you're wondering who's coming to sit next to you and you see tons of fun come barreling down into the back section of coach, you're flipping out, okay? And then when they finally they give you that look, they're like, I think I'm next. I think I'm in this. Yeah. You're like, oh, okay. And inside you're like, fuck! That's 100% what is happening. And this lady got two. She's probably sitting there, right? Some big old dude or whatever. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl. But a big old dude comes barreling down. He's like, hey, I'm in the window. She's like, okay. Gets out. Sits down and armrest fucking gone. Forget about it. Like, all right, this sucks, but it happens. It does happen. You could sit next to a bigger person. And then the second fatty comes on. And, these are big folks. And then they get about 5-6 rows away and they start counting the numbers on the chairs. And then they realize, where they're sitting, and then they make eye contact with you and you're like, no, there's no way. And then they're like, hey, yeah, I'm actually the aisle. You're like, oh, yeah, okay. Fuck! Oh, dude. I mean, I wouldn't have tweeted about it. I would have gone home and told my friends about it. Because you got to know that if you tweet that kind of thing, you're gonna get in trouble. But I just don't like the pretending like we all haven't been there. Nobody's like, well, I'm sure it's a struggle for them to fly sometimes. Yeah, I'm sure it's an issue, and I feel for them. They should get my snacks, honestly, just as a reward because of how difficult it must be for them to fly. You know what I mean? Yeah, who's to blame there? Is it the big people for being so big? Is it you? Is it your fault for picking a middle seat? Is it the airline's fault for not having bigger fucking chairs? Is it your fault again for not making enough money to be able to maybe get the fucking Comfort Plus? Well, even if you did get the Comfort Plus, they could still sit up there. You know what I mean? Is it their parents' fault for not instilling good, nutritional fucking standards and for how they eat and failing them in the education process about what is good, proper food and exercise and all that stuff? How far do you go back to blame somebody? And and then to ask for reparations, if that was seriously considered, who does that go to? Is there a reparations department of the airline? What do you do? Oh, I handle the claims when people are upset for sitting next to fat people. We talk it out and we come up with a fair settlement. What if she sued? Could you take an airline to court? How quickly does that case? Let's say it does go to trial. Like, does it get thrown out? Do you hire a lawyer? Does the airline hire a lawyer, you know? Are the fat people considered like exhibit A and B? You know what I mean? Like, Your Honor, my client was just trying to fly home after a business trip. We've all been there, right, folks, on the jury? We've all been flying home, and we just want a little bit of comfort that we pay so much money for on these airlines, you know? And the idea that an airline would sit two fatties next to my client. We're just talking about fairness. We're talking about fairness, people. Is this fair? Is it fair for my client to have to watch her movie on her iPad with her elbows tucked into her ribcage because these people ate too much food? Is it fair? I ask you. You will see today the prosecution will prove that it is not fair. And then the airline comes on and like, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are not responsible. How could we be held responsible for who we let on our aircraft? And here at American Airlines, we do not discriminate against the large-bodied, right? Because they have to have some, you know, they're not going to say fat people. We don't discriminate against anybody of any size or race or gender. We don't discriminate, right? They always got to like bring it up. They always got to like bring it up and bring it back down. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we will bring it up here, but only so that when we bring it down here, it has more effect. Dude, I think I could be a good lawyer. You know? I feel like that's every kid who like grows up arguing with people. They think that's all it takes and that you could be a good lawyer. There's like so much more shit to it. You know what I mean? Like when you see really good lawyers, like fucking Johnny Depp's lawyer, when they get all the fucking facts and exhibits and, you know. Here's why I couldn't be a lawyer. Because I wouldn't want to, you gotta like prep your client to be like interrogated by the defense or the prosecution or whatever. And I couldn't do that because I'm not a good teacher. I like know how I want things to be done and I could do them that way, but I don't think I would teach. I don't think I could teach people, you know? Like, all right, now if I'm the defense and I ask you this, how are you going to respond? And then they do it shitty. I'd be like, no. And I don't have a good correction for you, but no. You know? I don't know. Maybe maybe after the nuclear winter, I'll you know, and there's no stand up. Maybe I will, maybe I'll go to law school if it still exists, huh? Who could afford law school? No one can. But money won't be a thing. We're going to go back to the barter system and trade, you know, trade animals and livestock and russet potatoes and shit, you know? We're going to start selling off daughters and stuff like they did in the old days. You know? All right, folks. That's the podcast for this week. We got a Yarbar comedy show on Wednesday. Feel free to come out to that. It's going to be a good one. It always is. We always have a good time down at the Yarbar Comedy Show. Terra Rose, 7:30 p.m. Tickets in the Instagram bio. Also follow Yarbar Comedy Show on Instagram. Also, I'm a part of the New York Comedy Club competition right now, and I moved on to the semifinals. Very happy about that. But the semifinals are on the 25th. At, I want to say, 7 p.m. Yawn. And so I will. And part of, I didn't have anybody there at the first round, and I still got through, which was, you know, I had a decent set, but it was, I was surprised because I didn't have anyone there to vote for me. It's an audience vote. So I can only imagine that it would help me to have some folks out there at the competition show on the 25th. So if you're able to come, bring a friend. It would help me possibly advance to the finals. It's already a long shot because everyone on the show is so goddamn funny, but what can you do? Yeah, that's it. Hope you have a good week. We'll see you next week if we're all still here. Goodbye.